What I have here is 9 mini pumpkins. They're the sugar pumpkins from my garden. I'm saving all the guts and the seeds. Well, I'm not saving the guts, but I'm going to save the seeds and roast the seeds. But with these mini pumpkins, I'm going to be roasting them in the oven and then turning it into puree. Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. Today I am processing some of my sugar pumpkins that came from my garden, and it's been a couple of months since I've plucked them out, probably about a month and a half since I plucked them out of the garden, and I've had them storing in my garage on some shelves, and finally I'm just getting to doing something with them. And then I put them in my enamel roaster, and I added a little bit of water in the bottom of it and put them in my oven at 350 and kind of baked and steamed them. And then I think I had them in the oven for probably 2 hours, I would say. And then I scooped it out, the pulp from the rind, put it in my food processor, and then I just turned it on. It was quite thick and chunky, so I heated up some water in my kettle and just added a little bit of water, and I would have showed you that, but it's so noisy having that food processor going. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to start putting it into some freezer bags, and this pumpkin is going to go in the freezer, and I'm going to use it for baking. And I want like probably 2 cups, because that's usually, I might have 3 cups in here. I can never remember how much I put in the bag. I usually just fill it, and then once it's about 2/3 full, then that's all I fill it. Because what I want to do is, after I've taken the air out of the bag, and I'm going to lay it on its side and kind of flatten it out. And then that's how I store it in my freezer, just kind of flat like this. It takes up less room in the freezer. And I'd probably say that's probably about 3 cups. And then I guess we'll just see how many bags we get. This little bag stand that I have, it is so awesome. A friend gave this to me. I think she said she got it from the dollar store, but I can't remember. So we'll just put the rest of this puree, and then I will just keep food processing and until we get all of this done. I did keep the seeds, and I picked through them, picked out the full ones, and then I put them into a colander, washed them up, and I have them on a tea towel letting them dry now. And then I'm going to roast them in the oven, and I'll add a little seasoning salt, maybe a little garlic powder too, and roast them in the oven. I'm scooping the inside of the pulp from the pumpkin skin on it. It's funny, some of these pumpkins, when I'm scooping it out, it seems kind of stringy, like a spaghetti squash, and then others are totally fine. And we'll just see what we get from this, and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, see how noisy that is? We have finished the last of the pumpkin. Got this bagged up. I'm gonna just take this right out. Okay, I've done cakes, I've done bundt cakes, muffins, streusel bars as well. I've done a pumpkin jelly roll with cream cheese icing in that, and that was pretty amazing. So that's another thing that you could use the pumpkin for. This is my 4th bag that I'm filling up. I don't know if I'll have 3 cups in this one, but I'll have 2 for sure. Maybe not 3. So this will be my least full bag, and that's okay. It'll be nice to have. You could do even tarts with these. I could see myself doing some pumpkin tarts for Christmas. I love doing tarts. I buy the tart shells. I don't make the pastry because I don't really do a lot of pastry, so I'm not very good at it. And I guess I won't get good at it if I never do it, but yeah, I'm not very confident in myself when it comes to pastry, so I just prefer to buy it. Okay. So get this bag sealed up. Didn't want to seal that way. Yeah, I probably only got about 2, maybe 2.5 cups. There we have, that's just all the rind from the pumpkins. Got my 4 bags filled up there underneath my towel. Look at all those pumpkin seeds I have. Just waiting for them to dry. So I'm not gonna sign off as of yet. Tomorrow we will come back and then we will be dehydrating some pumpkin as well, and I'll show you what that looks like too. Hi, welcome back. We're on the next day and now we are working on my next project of dehydrating pumpkin. So far I'm doing it in stages. So this is my steamer that I have, and it's just like a double, I don't know how hot this is. It's just a double boiler steamer. And the water's in the bottom, and then I've put my cut up pumpkin. So I've cut the pumpkin into chunks, and then I load up this steamer with the pumpkin. And then once it's steamed enough, and I've already done 1 batch so far. So this is the 1 batch that I've steamed, and I'm just waiting for it to cool off because it'll be way too hot to handle. And there are my pumpkin seeds that I roasted from yesterday's pumpkins that I cut up. And then I have my trays from my Excalibur dehydrator. And there are 9 trays to this unit. It says that would take about 7 to 11 hours, and I do have a timer on that dehydrator, so that's awesome. And that's at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's the temperature gauge on there. You can set it. I will set it for the 11 hours. And then depending when that is, it might go off at the middle of the night where it'll just shut off automatically. And then in the morning I can check it and see. And then I put it into baggies, just Ziploc baggies. And I'm gonna give half to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law for their dog as well. And my dog will love it. So we will come back when I have some of this sliced up and put on the trays. Okay, this is my last batch to be steamed. So I just have my insert ready, filled with the remainder of the pumpkin. I'm just waiting for my water to get to boiling. I've taken the pumpkin from the rind over off of these ones that were cool enough, and now those are pretty hot, so I'm going to have to wait for those to cool. So now I'm just going to slice up this pumpkin, and I'm just going to slice it into about 1/4 of an inch slices. And then I'm going to take those slices and put them, they're not very, some of it is just falling apart. So I might have just had it in the steamer for too long, and that's why it's falling apart. But I mean, it's just for dog treats anyways. So the looks of it isn't really important. All of it. I'm just going to rearrange these so I can fit as many pieces as I can, because I think I'm going to have a lot to steam here. So I'll just and we'll get these trays all. I tried dehydrating pumpkin without steaming it before, and there was so much moisture in the pumpkin that I had water all over my counter from not steaming it before I dehydrated it. And when I looked in the book, it had said that you had to steam it first, and I was like, whoops, guess I missed that step. So I will just keep plugging along and getting all of this cut up. So this is the last of the pumpkin, and I didn't quite get 9 trays, but I'm definitely gonna fill up 8 trays of the pumpkin. Definitely, this was a lot more work than doing the pumpkin puree that I did yesterday. Just more steps to it, with having to steam it and then having to cut it off the rind and then slicing it all up into pieces. I mean, it's worth it in the end as far as the end result is, but once I get this into the dehydrator, then I won't have to worry about anything else, and the dehydrator will take over the rest of the process for this. So I'm not sure if you've dehydrated pumpkin, if you have any better tips that would make the process seem, I don't know, quicker, a little less tedious. I'm not sure what the answer is to making this easier. So pop this in the dehydrator. I'm not sure if with everything filled up so much more than it normally is. Normally I only put in like 4 or 5 trays, and then I space it out so that there's a space in between each of the trays, but this is pretty much full. So I'm going to put the cover on, and as I said, this is an Excalibur dehydrator. I got this from Amazon probably 3 years ago, so it would definitely be worth a lot more money now. So I've decided to put my dehydrator over on this side of the counter. If I had it plugged in over on the island, if we use the microwave, then that trips the breaker. So I'm going to put it on this side because I won't be using anything on this that would trip this breaker. So I needed this at a 125 degrees, I'm pretty sure. And we're doing this for 11 hours. And that is it. Now we have our pureed pumpkin that I've done. That's in the freezer. And now I have my dehydrated pumpkin for dog treats. If you can think of any other ways that you use your pumpkin let me know. I know some people can their pumpkin too. I've never tried that before, but maybe I'll try that for next year. So anyways, thanks for joining me. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.